There is something inside you that has never been afraid. There is a part of you they could not program, could not shame, could not silence. The mystics called it the Pneuma, the spark. And it has been waiting, patient as a star, for you to remember it exists. I am not here to teach you a theory. I am here to remind you of a fact you buried so deep you mistook it for a myth. The word is gnosis, not belief, not doctrine, not something you take on faith and repeat like a chant. Gnosis means to know, the way you know fire is hot because it burned you once, direct, unmediated, felt in the bone. This is not academic. This is not a lecture on ancient religion. This is a war cry from the part of you that has already survived the void and come back carrying the map. Listen to the oldest sentence ever written about your origin. Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Read that again. Not created from nothing, formed from dust, the lowest, most common material there is, and then breathed into. God did not simply make you. God breathed into you. That breath is the pneuma. It is not a metaphor. It is the actual mechanism of your existence. Dust becomes a living soul the instant it receives the divine breath. You are dust that was breathed into. You are matter that became conscious because something eternal moved through you on purpose. That breath never left. It cannot leave. It is not something you achieve. It is the thing that is achieving you right now as you listen to this sentence. The ancient Gnostics had a name for the source of that breath, the Panorama, the fullness, the totality of divine mind from which every spark emanates. And centuries later, a man named Napoleon Hill, writing to businessmen, not mystics, stumbled onto the same current under a different name. He called it infinite intelligence, the source every great idea, every sudden insight, every unexplainable answer flows from. Hill did not know he was describing the Panorama, but he was. Every warrior who has ever tapped a flash of clarity that came from nowhere has touched it. This is the warrior's first recognition, and it cannot be skipped. You are not the body. You are not the mind. You are not the personality assembled by your childhood, your wounds, your culture's expectations. Those are the dust. You are the breath that was placed into the dust. You are the spark, temporarily wearing matter like a garment, and the garment is not the wearer. They could take everything else from you, your name, your history, your comfort. They could never touch the spark, because the spark was never theirs to take. It was breathed in before anyone had the chance to claim it. Say this now, and mean it like your life depends on it, because it does. I am the spark that cannot be extinguished. I am Gnosis. I am the light inside the dark. I remember who I was before they told me who to be. That is not affirmation. That is recognition of a fact that predates your birth and will outlast your death. The spark does not need permission to exist. It already exists. It has always existed. Today, you simply stop pretending you didn't feel it.
Most of the world is asleep to this. Not lazy, not stupid, asleep, moving through days on autopilot, believing they are only the dust, never suspecting the breath. They react instead of choose. They inherit fear instead of examining it. They call the noise in their head just who I am, and never once ask who put it there. The awakened warrior is not a different species. He is the same dust. The difference is singular. He knows about the breath. And once you know, truly know, gnosis, not belief, you cannot go back to acting like you don't. Breathe. Here is what changes the instant Gnosis lands in you, not as an idea, but as a felt fact. You stop negotiating with fear, as if it were the boss. Fear is dust talking. The spark does not negotiate with dust. You stop outsourcing your worth to people who never breathed life into you in the first place. Only the source that gave you the breath gets a vote on your value. Everyone else is noise. You start listening for infinite intelligence, the pleroma, the way you'd listen for a signal you know is being broadcast, because now you know it is. Napoleon Hill spent a lifetime documenting the men and women who tapped that signal deliberately, on purpose, as a discipline. That is available to you today, right now, because the receiver was never broken. It was only ignored. Breathe. Here is what the warrior does differently. He pauses before reacting, because the pause is where the spark speaks and the dust goes quiet. He asks, in the middle of the hardest moments, is this the breath in me, or is this the noise I inherited? He stops treating his body and his moods as the whole story, because he has felt, directly, unmistakably, that something in him is older than either one. This is Gnosis in motion, not a Sunday feeling, a Tuesday at 2 in the afternoon in the middle of chaos knowing. Declaration. Say it again, because repetition is how remembering becomes permanent. I am the spark that cannot be extinguished. I am Gnosis. I am the light inside the dark. I remember who I was before they told me who to be. Breathe. You were never lost. You were only hidden. Hidden inside a body, inside a culture, inside a lifetime of static, waiting for a frequency strong enough to cut through and remind you what you are. This is episode 1 of the Gnostic Warrior. 9 more layers of the ancient map are waiting. The Demiurge, the Archons, Sophia's fall, the Pleroma's fullness, the Christ within, the buried Gospels, the Hermetic laws, the dark night, and the warrior's return. If this frequency moved something in you, subscribe and walk the rest of this map with me. If you want to go deeper, the community, the teachings, the tools, the link is in the description. And if this work has been a lifeline for you, consider supporting the mission so this fire can keep reaching the ones still asleep. Every gift keeps the signal broadcasting. You remembered today. Do not let the world talk you back to sleep.